How's it, everybody in the cricketing world? Welcome to One World Sports Radio. My name is Tip Watela. I'm here with Wahid Vadi. Is that how it's pronounced, Wahid?
Vardy, like Jamie Vardy.
Like Jamie Vardy. Start the party with Mr. Vardy over here. We're going to take you through the West Indies and South Africa first test that's happening at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground. And it's going to be quite a spectacular spectacle, is it not, Wahid?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's one of my dreams. I was just saying to my wife earlier to watch live cricket in the West Indies one day, and unfortunately, COVID has put an end to that sort of thing. But I would love to follow the South African team on a tour of the West Indies one day.
Oh, same. The Caribbean just looks so interesting, so warm, so nice, so chill,
so chilled, so warm, beach life, and mixing it with the best sport in the world, Test cricket. I don't think you could like. There's anything more one could ask for.
Exactly. It's absolutely fantastic. So, news from the middle of the ground is that the West Indies won the toss and they elected to bat. They've elected to bat.
I
thought they elected to bowl, but they elected to bat. Yes, it is. So, they'll be starting the innings.
Paul put that on our WhatsApp group, but that was a bit of a mistake. So we'll blame that on Paul.
Okay, I thought so. I thought I saw bowl, and then I see West Indies have a score. So that was pretty interesting. Just running you through the 11, we have Craig Brathwaite, the captain, Shai Hope, Bonner, Nkumar Bonner, Kyle Mayers, Jermaine Blackwood, Joshua Da Silva, Jason Holder, Roston Chase, Rakeem Cornwell, Kemar Roach, and debutant Jaden Seals. And this guy's literally 19 years old. Yeah.
19.
Please tell us more about this. What do you know about the young man?
I don't know anything about him. I was watching a little bit of Mike Haseman before this, and that's just about all I know. I know he's a fast bowler, and he came in for the injured Shannon Gabriel. Is that right?
Yeah, that is true. Came basically out of nowhere for the injured Shannon Gabriel, and we see everybody taking the knee or raising the fist against discrimination. Basically carrying out that Black Lives Matter.
I'm a bit unhappy
campaign.
Here. Some players have chosen not to. Quinton de Kock chose not to do that there. It's a bit disappointing.
Yeah, I don't see why you don't just.
Well, we're not going to get into the politics of that, but that's a bit disappointing from QDK.
Yeah, I know. It is what it is. Let's get back to cricket because I'm sure that's what they'll all be thinking about. Also, don't forget you can tweet us at Guerilla SA. That's our Twitter handle. We'll be reading out all your tweets over here. We saw one from Josie Oak, Woy Pom, asking if for commentating, and here we are. I'm glad not to disappoint. We also have Marius Ruud saying, because I'm a pendant, I have a serious personality flaw, and I must point out that Peter's N with an E.
First ball of the test match, we've got Rabada into Craig Brathwaite. It's just back of a length outside the off stump. And Brathwaite looks a little bit suspect in trying to fend that away. The bounce, that sort of tennis ball bounce, seemed to disturb him a bit. But a good start for Kagiso Rabada there.
Yeah, I know. Definitely got a bit of nip there. Didn't look like it was very comfortable for the man in the middle.
Just looking at the pitch here on the TV, and I'm a little bit surprised that the West Indies have chosen to bat first. Looks like a bit of a bowler's pitch here. There seems to be a bit of grass covering, and with the overhead conditions, you think it might nip around for the South Africans first up. Just seeing Kagiso Rabada's fantastic record, averaging just 23 at the tender age of 26. Really, really fantastic career so far.
Oh, we see Carl Verena on screen as he's taking up the helmet to position himself at a silly mid-wicket, right on
Rabada
the other
again
side
over
there.
the wicket, right arm over the wicket, and it's left alone by Brathwaite, just a touch wide at 135 k's an hour there from Rabada. I must be honest that first ball, I'm not surprised to see the short leg after the first ball. It seemed like a bit of tennis ball bounce there, and it seemed to surprise Brathwaite. So I'm not entirely surprised with Verena coming into under the helmet there. Rabada back in over the wicket here, and it's a bit of an appeal, but it's probably angling just down the leg side. it's just a bit of a stifled appeal there from the South Africans behind the stumps.
Brathwaite definitely not looking comfortable when the ball is close to his legs there. Was chatting to someone from the West Indies or the Caribbean podcast, a very lacquer chat we had yesterday on Cricket Fanatics magazine, and they said that the West Indies batting lineup is basically just as in as ours.
Rabada back in over the wicket there. And
sorry, I thought you were going to hit the ball by ball, as this one also played off the pads. But yeah, inconsistent as ours, and haven't really faced up against a quality bowling attack like with the likes of Kagiso Rabada, Lungi Ngidi, and also Heinrich Nokia. Just to name a few. Oh yes,
were you surprised?
Fantastic, you're back, Wahid. Sorry, I lost you there for a second.
Rabada in over the wicket. It's just a bit, it's a touch wide outside the off stump and left alone again. 141 k's an hour. Rabada hasn't attacked the stumps very nicely in this opening over. Probably just finding his rhythm out there at the moment. Were you a bit surprised to see Wiaan Mulder chosen ahead of George Linder?
Not at all. To be honest, I've been hearing about the conditions and the pitch always being regarded as a seaming pitch.
Ooh, Rabada
so
over the
going
wicket
for the seamer as opposed to the spinner was oof.
He's beaten the outside edge there, and that's a fantastic end to the over by Kagiso Rabada. He's beaten the outside edge with a jaff of a ball there, and Brathwaite seemed nowhere in trying to keep that out. He's very, very, very lucky to have missed that one. Yeah, so I'm not sure. So, over time, the West Indies was always the type of place where seamers thrive. But over the last couple of years, you just sort of had a situation where spinners have done really nicely in the Caribbean. So I wasn't exactly sure, obviously not being there, about the conditions at Darren Sammy Oval itself. So I thought that George Linder might have been in with a shout. But looking at the conditions today, I'm not too surprised they've gone with Wiaan Mulder instead.
Yeah, I was thinking of something similar with the pitches seeming to have slowed down, but history shows that this pitch is very much friendly to the seamers.
Yeah, Lungi Ngidi shares the new ball with Rabada. The first ball is angled in towards the middle stump, quite a good line, and it's defended out towards the square leg region, and they'll come back for 2 runs. Verena making it was just 1, sorry, my mistake. So Ngidi's figures up on the screen, averaging 26 with the best career figures of 6 for 39. Also a fantastic record at his young age.
And that single takes Shy Hope off the mark. We also have a tweet here from Chris TB saying, geez, I'd forgotten what Wahid's voice sounds like. It's been that long, eh?
Yeah, it's been a while. Ngidi back over the wicket, and it's left alone outside the off stump by Craig Brathwaite. Yeah, it's been a while, guys. I haven't been on comms for a while. Work had me a bit reined under. And Tsepo, can you hear me?
I can sort of hear you coming in and out, and I'm trying to do this thing where I'm trying to fill in the gaps with my own assumptions, but my blank stare is just it's going on for too long, and it's also quite delayed on my side.
Sorry, so Lungi Ngidi back over the wicket there to Craig Brathwaite. It's a fantastic ball. It's angled in towards off stump, and it just leaves the right-hander touch. He's left it alone. He's actually played at that ball, and it's beaten the outside edge.
Just give me a moment. I'm quickly going to reconnect because we had load shedding and now my Wi-Fi is back. Maybe that I'll get better just now. 2 seconds.
I'll handle it for now. So we're going to have Lungi Ngidi coming in, steaming back in over the wicket to the right-hander Craig Brathwaite. It's angled in towards middle and leg. It's defended towards Kyle Verena at short square leg. and no run taken. So far, this over started with a 1, and there's been 3 dots. Lungingidi's been really on the mark so far in this over, far better than Rabada in the previous over. His speed is up nicely, and he's really troubled the West Indian batsman so far. As we're looking at the slip cordon and the new captain, Dean Elgar, Lungingiri running in, steaming back towards the batsman. It's wide outside the off stump and left alone by Craig Brathwaite. Just a bit touch wide there from Ngidi and left alone. Ngidi will charge back into the wicket, over the wicket, and he's angled. Oh, it's a fantastic ball that's beaten the outside edge of Craig Brathwaite, just on the sort of fourth stump channel outside off. He's running and he's bowling from quite a wide angle at the crease. And it's just leaving the batsman a touch. So angling in and leaving the batsman is a fantastic line, and unlucky not to find the edge. A better batsman might have gotten an edge on that. Really troubling the batsman so far this morning. So the end of the over, the West Indies are currently 1 for 9 after 2 overs, and we'll have Tsepo back in with us, who's on mute.
Hello, Baloo, and how do you do? I'm back, my brew. That's the second time I've said it. Yo, 21 chats, hey, yo, you're chatting, you're on mute.
Yeah.
Yo. Our parents never knew, dog. Our parents never knew.
Over the wicket, a fantastic ball by Kagiso Rabada outside the off stump. He's beaten the outside edge of Shy Hope, and it's a fantastic ball.
Sheesh, talk about movement on the pitch here. The batsmen don't seem to be seeing the ball.
Yeah.
Tons of assistance here for the bowlers. So the decision to bat first, quite questionable. It's like throwing your best, one of your best batsmen in the deep end.
I would only question that at lunch. If the West Indies just back in over the wicket and driven well by Shire Hope, it's overpitched by Rabada this time. The outfield seems to be extremely slow, and it's held up there by Rassie van der Dussen out in the deep and thrown back to the keeper, Quinton de Kock. They've taken 3 runs there. So I think if the West Indies, after choosing to bat, were to get to lunch with maybe none or 1 wicket down, they'd probably feel vindicated in choosing to bat. However, I think if South Africa lose the toss, get told to bowl first, and maybe get 3 wickets in this first session, I think they'll feel like the West Indies will feel like maybe they've missed a trick there. Rabada back in very full and played off his legs towards Kyle Verreynne, who partially stops the ball, but it rolls out into the leg side, and they take a single.
Yeah, you're right. It's tough conditions out there to bat.
Was that half a chance there?
I
was
think
that half
so.
a chance?
I think it was. I think so.
I think
just short.
He's got a little wry smile on his face. I think he knows there was a half chance there for Verreynne with a catch.
Yeah, anyway, he was going down to his knee,
wide and slashed at by Shire Hope and missed, and it carries through to Quinton de Kock behind the stumps.
Yeah, just describing that Verreynne half chance, squeezed to the leg side rather, and Verreynne there at mid wicket or silly mid wicket, literally picking it up on his left knee if he were to pick it up, as it bounced quite just short of the catch there. But it's going to be a very interesting competition here.
Kagiso Rabada back in and a bouncer this time, which Shai Hope ducks underneath. This 5 balls gone in this over, 5 for no loss. Tsepo, I wanted to ask you, what do you think of the situation with Quinton de Kock? His batting is obviously not in the best. He's not in the best form of his career, and he's probably, in other circumstances, he might be struggling to even make the side. What would you think of maybe asking Kyle Verreynne to keep wicket and allowing Quinton de Kock to focus on his batting? Quinton de Kock is our only X-factor player, and he might be being weighed down by the gloves. Just before we
I've
answer
heard.
that, Rabada in, and he beats the inside edge of Shy Hope this time with an in-swinging delivery. Shy Hope got himself into all sorts of trouble, and he's beaten him as the ball carries through to Quinton de Kock. He's living a little bit of a charmed life here, is Shy Hope.
Sure, yeah, that was a close one there, beating the booming drive, the inside edge of the booming drive. And just to answer your question on Quinton de Kock, I think right now the best thing for him would be to get back to the way things were before he took the captain's armband, because while he was keeping at number 7, he was doing just fine, more than just fine. He was our top batsman. And once you take once you added that pressure of the captaincy, which has taken some strong men's forms down, yeah, what else would you expect? And he didn't seem like the man for the
Lungingidi
job
over
either.
the wicket this time, just back of a length on about the 5th stump line, and this one keeps a bit low, and Quinton de Kock takes it just around his ankles. So a little bit of variable bounce. We've seen some tennis ball bounce up front, and now one that's kept a touch low. So interesting decision by the West Indies to bat first on a pitch that seems a bit of a nightmare for batsmen at the moment. These batsmen don't seem to have read the bounce or the movement of this pitch so far.
Yeah, variable bounce here. Batter's nightmare, as you said. It seems like they were thrown into the deep end, but maybe the pitch flattens out a bit later as this one squeezed to the leg side for no run.
Yeah, Lungingidi again coming wide of the crease and angling it in towards middle and off. Very good line, and just defended into the leg side by is that Brathwaite? It is.
We have a tweet here from Chris saying that Ngidi averages 39.45 as an opening bowler and 18.27 as a first change, whereas Nortje averages 22.38 as an opening bowler and 36.66 as first change. Am I putting too much weight in the numbers, or should they have swapped roles? That's actually quite a good question.
I'll get back to that now. We see almost identical replay of the previous delivery. Lungingidi, wide of the crease and angling it in towards middle and off, and defended towards the leg side by Craig Brathwaite towards the mid-wicket region for no run. I don't think we can read too much into those numbers. I must be honest. It always depends on who your frontline bowlers are. I often use that. I'll get back to this right now, but Lungingidi steaming in towards the batsman. Oh, it's defended off his thigh, and there's a bit of a dive from Verena at short leg, but it goes off into the leg side for a single. I'd never read too much into those sort of figures, because you'd often see Morne Morkel open the bowling before Vernon Philander's time, and he'd absolutely pepper the batsman, and with like little to no reward. And whoever came in as the first choice bowler would pick up the wicket based on all the hard work that Morne Morkel had done up front. And then when Vernon Philander came along, Morne Morkel changed to the first change bowler, and often just held up an end. So I'd never read too much into those numbers. Lungingidi this time very wide and left alone. Ooh. So yeah, we could talk about whether Ngidi and Nortje should be first or second change bowler or open, whatever the case may be. But I always just look at the conditions and think that there'd be a reason for the decision. And I personally don't think there's too much wrong with however way they go. Rabada could potentially go one down, which he used to great effect when Steyn and Philander were the leaders of the attack. So I don't think there's too much to read into that.
Fair enough. So you'd expect that your average as a first change bowler would probably be a bit lower than your average as an opening bowler.
Yeah, it's Lungingidi this time just angled towards that 5th stump channel on offside and defended into offside for no run. That brings to an end the 4th over. The West Indies are 6 for no loss. I think it's a 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. I think when you look at 3 quality fast bowlers like South Africa have, I don't think it really truly matters who opens the bowling and who bowls at first choice. There's 3 bowlers. Any one of them could open the bowling. Any one of them could bowl second, and any one of them could bowl third. And I don't think you'd see a diminished quality based on whoever is chosen for those roles. And don't discount Vian Mulder. The boy can also bowl, and he could also be the first change. Rabada in this time a lot straighter, very, very full, attempting the Yorker, but defended straight back to him by Craig Brathwaite. Still 6 for no loss. We see Shy Hope's figures up on the screen. The man averages 53 after 81 matches with 1950s and 1000s. That's ODI cricket. That is a fantastic record. These days, anything over 14 ODI cricket is seen as fantastic. So for the man to be averaging 53 is really good. Rabada back in over the wicket.
Sorry about
Rabada back in over the wicket and left alone outside the off stump by Craig Brathwaite.
Yeah, Shy Hope's numbers in the one-day scene are very, very pretty. Very easy on the eye. But the problem is in the test scene where he struggled for form, something like 19 innings and only 350s. The last 19 innings there. So in the whites, it's very different for the man.
Overall, Shy Hope has, I'll get back to that. Rabada over the wicket. Oh, it's a fantastic ball. It's a big appeal for caught behind. Umpire unmoved, and I personally didn't think that was too close to the to the edge. We'll see if Olga is interested at all, and it doesn't seem like he's going to be interested in that appeal. So Joel Wilson seems vindicated. So back to Shy Hope. I think overall he's got 34 tests. He's only got 1,600 runs in that time with an average of just 26, which is not very good reading in test whites. He's got 205 50s, but that average of 26 needs to improve in the test arena.
So very much like our Aiden Markram Shy Hope story here, numbers really don't back the quality of talents that he has. So he just needs to convert.
Yeah, bouncer this time from Rabada, ducked easily under that by Brathwaite. Interesting about Aiden Markram, because I think it's the opposite way around. I think that his test numbers are quite decent. As we see the replay of the big appeal, the sound that the bowler and the keeper obviously heard was from the thigh pad. Aiden Markram, if we look at his record, it's pretty much the opposite. He averages just a touch under 41 in the test arena, but his average in the ODI format of the game is a bit low at 27. This time, very, very full by Rabada and picked off his legs by Craig Brathwaite down towards the fine leg region and 4. Unfortunately, due to load shedding in South Africa, we don't have jingles, so we might get that back later when Simon's back. But unless you want to sing us a jingle,
I can sing us a jingle. Bad ball dispatched 4-4-4. That was a terrible delivery, and I got the treatment.
Really rank full delivery on leg stump. Rabada back over the wicket, very, very full this time. Very, very wide and full this time outside the off stump and taken left alone and taken behind by Quinton de Kock. Rabada hasn't quite hit his straps to the same effect that Lungi Ngidi has so far.
Yeah, not quite challenging the batsman, not making the batsman play at any challenge. Well, there was the appeal. Let's say that's just inconsistent, sort of taking the foot off the pressure here. Let's just quickly touch on a quick tweet. We have Anis Mohammed. Welcome back, Anis. Anis says, afternoon, guys. Let's start the conspiracy theories. Is Temba injured or is he injured? Also, Verena, based on form, should have played QDK out of the team anyhow. Yeah, I guess on recent form of defensive.
Lungi Ngidi over the wicket, angled in towards that fourth stump channel and defended out to the offside by Shy Hope. Interesting stats I've got for you, Tsepo. So I've got, do you remember Kagiso Rabada's really, really fantastic performance against Australia in 2018 at Port Elizabeth? I think that's the game when he was banned for shouting in Steve Smith's face.
Thing. Yeah,
I'll get back to it now. Lungi Ngidi charging in over the wicket to Shy Hope and wide down the leg side and left alone. Okay, so I've got his stats before and after that game. Before that game, 51 innings, 135 wickets, best innings figures of 7 for 122, an average of 31, and a strike rate of 38 with 9 5-wicket hauls. After that game,
Hmm,
31 innings, just 67 wickets, best innings average
that's
of
less than half.
of 4 for 38, not one fiver in that time, an average of 27, and a strike rate of 47. So significantly worse numbers after that
Wow.
performance.
Yeah.
Lungingidi
So he's
over the
basically.
wicket, angled in towards the middle stump and defended towards mid on for no run. He's basically like had a fantastic career till then, and then really struggled
Mm,
afterwards. One of the like factors there might have been the presence of Dale Steyn, but I mean there could be a bunch of other things. One of them could well possibly be burnout. The man has just played probably way too much cricket in his short career
mm.
so far.
Yeah, and not just played cricket. I mean, he was the endorsement guy, the man of the future. I saw him on Nissan ads for like the whole of 2018 or 2019 when the World Cup was going on, in
Yeah.
2015 as well. I mean, that was still early in his career when he was a phenom. But yeah, I think I remember Quinton de Kock also struggling for form before the 2015 World Cup. There was some time where he had to play with the SAA side. His spot in the side wasn't secure, but then he came back just in time for the World Cup and did relatively well in 2015. And I think maybe KG needs something similar. Just a rest from some crickets, some time away to reflect and maybe see how he approaches this phase of his career.
Um, Lungingidi charging in towards Shire Hope. It's back of a length, angled towards the middle stump and picked off his hips towards the mid wicket region by Shire Hope for just a single that takes the score to 11 for no loss with one ball left in the sixth over. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one because Kagiso Rabada is nearing, well, he's now 26 years of age, and these should be his prime years, probably from 26 to 29, should be the prime of a fast bowler's career. We're going to discount Jimmy Anderson from that because
He's a
he's a
phenom.
phenomenon
He is. Wow.
who's doing incredible things at his age, still on the cricket field. But when Roberto was a young one, he was playing almost like with the numbers of an experienced pro, and as he's getting towards where he should be the leader of the attack, his numbers are sort of dipping. So
Oof.
something needs to be done, or something needs to be looked at. Good ball by Lungi Ngidi, angled in towards the off stump and just moving away from Shire Hope, who sort of plays inside the line of the ball, effectively leaving it back to Quinton de Kock. That brings to an end the sixth over, 11 for no loss.
Look,
Yeah.
one thing that's undeniable is that he has the quality, and he deserves to be where he is right now. Maybe not hitting his straps the way he used to. Maybe not dominating and having that type of presence, with the numbers. But I mean, his presence
Do
on
you
the
think he's
field
become too
is
nice?
undeniable.
Do you think
Uh,
he's become too nice? Do you think maybe him being banned and that sort of thing has made him a bit too nice?
I don't know. I
Rabada
sort
in
of
over
feel like,
Rabada in over the wicket with a fantastic ball there.
oof,
It's angled in towards it's on the fourth stump line,
shit.
just leaves the batsman. He plays and misses, and another coat of varnish on that bat would have had an edge.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that nice, eh? So you see, the thing about KG is that every time you doubt him, he produces something incredible, and it might not happen at the rates that happened before, but maybe that I don't know. It's about the phase of his career. As I mentioned earlier, thinking of the likes
Rabada
of Wayne.
bouncer this time, and bad bouncer down the leg side, and easily evaded by Shy Hope. Sorry, yes, it's airport.
I,
Thinking
I
a
was
lot.
just thinking of Wayne Rooney, for example, who also peaked in his early years, and then he's like 30 something, and he's managing Derby County, but not like in a nice way, like in a wow, you basically just survived, and you know just because you had the potential at a young age, it doesn't mean you're going to carry that through. Um, you know, when you reach your prime years, as people say. Ew.
Rank ball there by Kagiso Rabada,
Ew.
very, very short and wide outside the off stump and left alone by Shy Hope. I
This
think
is
that's a little
actually
bit unfair on
poor.
both Kagiso Rabada and Wayne Rooney.
Well,
Wayne Rooney,
no,
Man
I'm
United's
just
top ever
saying
goal
goals.
scorer.
But by what age? The point is, by at what age was he the top goal scorer? Was it at the prime of his career? Was it at the 29 that everybody says, or was it at 24 when he was knocking on the door?
No, so he became Man United's top goal scorer in his last season. It was with a goal against Stoke, a free kick from outside the box, where he reached. So Bobby Charlton had 249 goals, and Wayne Rooney finished with 253 goals for the club. So it was in his last season when he overtook Sir Bobby Charlton. But I do understand. I do understand what you're saying. I don't think Wayne Rooney ever lived up to the hype of his Euro 2004.
Sure.
Rabada in over the wicket this time and defended towards the gully region by Shy Hope. Rooney was a fantastic X Factor player who eventually I feel lost his X Factor. Played a lot within himself and never really looked like that player he was at Euro 2004. He was. Don't get me wrong. He was a phenomenal player. He was absolutely phenomenal for Man
Mm.
United, especially in those the period when we won the Champions League 2008 2009. But I don't think he ever played with that youthful zest he did in his early days.
And that's what I'm
Rabada in over the
saying.
wicket. Rabada back in over the wicket, defended or out to the offside this time by Craig Brathwaite. Very good ball to end the over from Rabada, who now has figures of 4 overs, 8 runs. Dean Elgar coming over and having a word with Rabada, and not sure what that is about, unless he wants him to have a slight rest. So back to your question, your thing earlier about Rabada having a bit of a rest, and my question then becomes, who comes in? Who could possibly play in the South African Test side in order to give Kagiso Rabada a break? And then I'll couple it with this. I would personally never rest a player for a Test match. You rest players
Ah,
during ODI series and T20s. I think that you respect Test cricket and always put out your best 11.
agreed.
Very good ball
Agreed.
here from Lungi Ngidi. He comes again wide of the crease, very, very full at around the middle and leg stump, and defended by Brathwaite towards mid-on. So yeah, so I would personally never rest a player for a Test match. I don't believe in resting players in Test series. Every single Test match, no matter who it's against, if it's against Zimbabwe or Australia, I don't care. You put out your best 11.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. But the question is just player management. But before we move on to that, I quickly want to chat about one tweet here after this ball.
Ngidi again angled from wide of the crease towards middle and leg and defended towards the leg side by Craig Brathwaite for no run.
Anis Mohammed saying at Guerilla SA, it will take just one good spell for KG to get back into the groove. Do you think it will take one good spell, Wahid, or do you think before you're
I think
convinced
it's
that
going.
this man is
I think
back,
it's going to. I think he's going to take a good Test match. I think he's going to need a good 5-wicket haul where he feels like himself again. I think with fast bowlers, it's about confidence, with feeling like he's got the batsman's number. Lungi Ngidi, very similar line at around that middle end leg stump, and played off his hips towards the square leg region by Brathwaite, who comes back for 2 runs. I think with fast bowlers, it's a lot about having that bit between the teeth. I know they've got to feel angry. They've got to feel like they've got this batsman's number. And I don't know if Ngidi's if Rabada's feeling that at the moment. If he's feeling on top of the
yeah,
world, and I think he probably needs to run through a lineup where he gets 6 or 7 wickets and he just feels on top of the
yeah.
world again. Like he's got every batsman is nothing in comparison to him. And I think that's probably what he needs at this point. Lungi Ngidi over the wicket, a bit closer to the stumps this time. Good line at around the 5th stump region and defended into the offside for no run. Do you remember Dale Steyn against New Zealand in, I think it was 2006 or 2007, when when he ran through them and destroyed their lineup, bowled them out for like 60 or 70 a few times. And that was right at the start of when Dale Steyn went on to become the best in the world for such an extended period of time. And to me, Dale Steyn is the best fast bowler I've ever watched. I mean, for a long time, I had Glenn McGrath as at the top of that list of best fast bowlers I've watched, and Dale Steyn's overtaken him. So anyway, Ngidi, fantastic ball there. He's come wide of the wicket again, angled it in towards the off stump. It's just left the batsman a touch and beaten the outside edge. Fantastic ball. Lungi Ngidi has really, really been on song this morning and bowling really, really well at the moment is Lungi. And I think Kagiso Rabada needs a series like that. He needs a series like Dale Steyn against New Zealand in 2007. He needs to run through batsmen like they're not there and just feel on top of the world again, because he's that type of quality. One day he should be talked about in the same at the same level as Dale Steyn, at the same level as Brett Lee and Glenn McGrath and Sean Pollock and all these good bowlers we've watched in our lives. He's got that type of talent, so you'd expect that type of output from him.
No doubt about the talent.
Over the wicket, and another fantastic ball from Lungi Ngidi to end the 8th over. It beats its outside edge and goes through to Quinton de Kock, 13 for no loss at the end of the 8th over.
At the moment, Lungi Ngidi is leading this attack right now in this game. He's the one that's on song, and that's as you're saying, KG doesn't have that bit between his teeth. And what's a bit frustrating is that I don't know, he seems sporadic now, and he's not the only one guilty of this. In the last test match, it was or at least in Pakistan, I felt that Lungi Ngidi, if you're just looking at if you just have an eye test of the game, he was pretty wayward, just not holding up his end. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the coaching staff. I don't know if people just aren't excited anymore, but it feels like the bowling attack needs like to be jolted back like to its proper self now, because we talk about KG's quality, but he hasn't really taken the game like as a game-changing player in quite some time.
Kagiso Rabada this time over the wicket, about outside off stump and left alone by Shire Hope, as we see Anrich Nortje start to stretch his back, and he might be into the attack in the not too distant future. With regards to the bowlers that we have in the ranks to cover for these bowlers, I mean, I think Clinton Sturman might be the closest thing we have to a challenger. We have Rabada again over the wicket towards Shire Hope in and around his legs, and played off his legs towards the fine leg region, and he'll come back for 2 runs. That takes the score to 15 for no loss after two balls gone in the 9th over.
A tweet from Manis Mohammed says, as I say about just one good spell for KG, maybe it could be that not having the pressure of leading the attack could be what has led to the dip. Not having Vern and Steyn in his ear as well doesn't help. So, yeah, KG is just not looking quite like himself.
I was about to say, I wonder if the lack of a Dale Steyn, the lack of Vernon Philander, the lack of a Morne Morkel in this attack has affected KG. Because if we look back to that test in 2018 against Australia in Port Elizabeth, he had the likes of Vernon and Steyn and Morkel all around him to help him through whatever maybe. And he was the tier away. He wasn't the leader of that attack. Dale Steyn was. Kagiso Rabada outside the off stump and left alone by Shire Hope, and he's probably just struggled to take on the mantle of replacing those legends, because they are legends of South African cricket. Dale Steyn, Morne Morkel, Vernon Philander, and he's probably just a little bit burdened by trying to replace them at the moment, and he's probably just feeling a little bit of pressure.
It's weird, because I mean, he was an absolute superstar when he came onto the scene, so he shouldn't feel that pressure, and I guess that's why his spot is so secure in the team, because he's just that good. So it's probably just a matter of time. It's just a dip in form. Sorry.
Yeah. Rabada back over length this time and played off his hips by Shire Hope towards the fine leg region for 2 runs. I remember back in the day, we had a situation where Dale Steyn often needed to be angry to be at his best.
Mm.
If he wasn't angry, he wasn't bowling very well. And they came up with a situation where Paul Harris would walk from mid on to Dale Steyn, who'd be at the top of this mark, and hit him in the chest to get him fired up. And that was the little thing that those two came up with to get Dale Steyn angry and in the mood. And I wonder if Kagiso Rabada needs something similar.
Just
Outside
the
the off
hype,
stump
man.
this time, quite wide outside, and Brath with Shy Hope's gone fishing for that one and missed it, and he's a bit lucky not to get an edge on that one. Quite a rank ball, and he would have been kicking himself if he did end up getting an edge. Yeah, I wonder if Rabada needs something along those lines to get him in the mood, because I don't know, he just doesn't seem like in the mood. I mean, back in 2018, he was angry, he was on fire. And it just seems like he's not angry anymore. Yeah.
Man was mean. Yeah, he used to have the Dale Steyn celebration. He was mean, man.
Mean. Yeah, it just seems to have
It's
gotten
not like
nice.
that anymore. Yeah, I see what you're saying about not so nice anymore. But Nokia into the attack here. I won't lie. That chat wasn't my favorite chat. KG needs to get on form. But Heinrich Nokia, an exciting prospect. Was he not a bowler of the year at the CSA Awards? I could be wrong.
Cricketer of the year, in fact. He's had a fantastic time of late, and he's charging in towards the batsman, right arm over. Very good ball to start there, and he's outside the off stump, defended with an inside edge into the pads by Brathwaite. Nice and fast and mean by Heinrich Nokia.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And, you know, I'm thinking, why aren't we using our bowlers in like a rotation type of way? As we were saying earlier, it's hard to say who should lead the attack if Nokia or Ngidi should be first change. But I mean, why not Rabada? I'm not saying that these guys are any better than Rabada, but just take the pressure off him and give someone else with the bit between their teeth the new ball.
I 100% agree with you. Nokia in over the wicket, full and straight this time, and defended into the offside. 137 clicks there from Heinrich Nokia. I agree with you. I see no reason for Rabada not to move back to first choice, first change, and allow Ngidi and Nokia to open at some point. I personally don't see an issue with that at all.
Anis Mohammed saying, or maybe it's just complacency. Speaking about Rabada, I'll continue when this ball's done.
Nokia outside the off stump this time and played off the back foot into the offside by Brathwaite, and that brings Shy Hope onto strike. 18 for no loss halfway through the 10th over.
Yeah, so Anis Mohammed saying, or maybe it's just complacency. Could it be that because no one has really is really pushing the bowlers for their place in the team? Could that be why they're not so mean? And maybe that's it. Maybe because KG Rabada has been in the limelight for so long, he's gotten used to it. It's become mundane. He doesn't have the fire the fire in his belly, the fire under his feet. So, you know, he doesn't feel fired up. And maybe a rotation in responsibilities and in technique or how he's being implemented could change that.
Nokia this time over the wicket, and a very, very good bouncer has Shy Hope evading it at 144 kilometers an hour. That's a very, very good ball.
Because
the thing is,
quickly want to continue with that point there. What I'd like to see, at least from Rabada, if he's not going to be getting the wickets, if he's not going to be our strike bowler, at least be the metronomic bowler. At least be the bowler that builds pressure on the one end for the other bowler. If you're not scoring goals, at least like assist, if you know what I'm saying. And I'm not seeing that.
Nokia again, this time over the wicket and down the leg side. Slight appeal from Heinrich Nokia, but that was very far from the bat. I think optimistic at best. I wonder if there's a complacency in it, but we've had a situation for very, very long where South Africa had a set of bowlers that we use. And the status quo of those bowlers wasn't really ever challenged. Dale Steyn was the main man. Vernon Philander was the main man. Morne Morku was the main man, and nobody in the provincial sphere could really challenge that status quo because they were just so good. Now we've got a situation where these three bowlers might not be on the level of the three previously mentioned bowlers, Oh, it's a fantastic ball by Andrik Nortje, just outside the off stump, gets an inside edge and manages to miss the stumps and go for 4. Unlucky from Andrik Nortje there. Very, very fast, very mean bowling. Very, very good over from Andrik Nortje.
See, now
There's no one
that is
really
an
challenging.
over. But that's what I want to see. I want to be on the edge of my seat, because now the test cricket that we're seeing with Rabada's first spell has been, the ball's going wayward.
Boring.
It's unwatchable.
Boring.
Honestly,
Boring.
batsmen aren't being
boring.
challenged.
He goes for 2 and over, but it's boring. He's not attacking the
exactly. Stumps. He's not attacking the stumps. The batsmen don't need to do anything. Why are we even watching? Whereas Nortje, I mean, first ball, he meant business on that 4th line stump, and he kept going. And even the last ball was an inside edge, and that's scramble seam. He tried to get the foot there, but it just went right through the gate in between bats and pad and ran for 4. And that's what I mean. This is what I want to see our opening bowler do. So I don't know. Rabada needs to
change.
Here's I'm
here's a very weird change. I was expecting Vian Mulder, and all of a sudden we see spin in the 10th over.
You know what? And it's a good spinner.
We're gonna see Keshav Maharaj coming on in the 10th over. This is very, very early for Kesh to be getting a go, but maybe Dean has seen something which he thinks will benefit Keshav Maharaj. So Maharaj over the wicket, first one outside the off stump and left alone by Brathwaite.
Yeah, I like Kesh in the attack here. Just to tie up an end. It's not like we're under a lot of pressure at the moment, but I don't know, just to get the batsman, just to lull the batsman into something could be interesting, or maybe the pitch has a little bit of turn early.
Back over the wicket, and a very, very similar ball to the last one, left alone by Craig Brathwaite, who's now 9 from 34. West Indies 22 for no loss after 2 balls into the 11th over. Maharaj back again over the wicket. Again, a very, very similar ball, left alone, just turning away from Craig Brathwaite. He's a brave man to be leaving it, because if Maharaj throws an arm ball, he's going to be in all sorts of trouble there.
Indeed. Just having some DJ replay over there, just that was pretty cool.
Maharaj much straighter this time and defended down the wicket by Brathwaite, no run.
We have a tweet here from
Maharaj. No, go for it.
Sweet. We have a tweet here from Chris that's saying it's already a higher opening partnership than the West Indies had in any of their innings against Sri Lanka. In any of the innings against Sri Lanka, but Campbell was the opening partner instead of Hope then. And Anis Mohammed says, taking the new ball away from KG, and the new ball could. Sorry, wait. Let me read this a little later. Continue.
Maharaj back over the wicket and defended towards mid-on for no run. That brings to the end the 11th over, and West Indies 22 for no loss. Brathwaite is 9 from 38 and Shy Hope 13. 9 from 38 and Shy Hope 13 from 28.
So just repeating Anis Mohammed's tweet, I think he's responding in maybe something to get a fire under KG's belly, and he's saying maybe taking the ball away from KG. The new ball could be motivate the hell out of him. And I remember them doing that with Alan Donald once, and he ran through a lineup. Maybe he's just complacent, maybe he needs a little extra fire under his belly.
I think something needs to happen to get this man going again. Anyway, Nortje back in over the wicket, very, very good ball on around the 4th stump line and left alone by Shy Hope. 137 clicks an hour, not as fast as Andrik Nortje can bowl, but I think that's the nature of the pitch. It's a bit of variable bounce, a bit spongy, and I don't think you're going to see bowlers getting towards that 150 kilometer an hour mark here.
Yeah, a very slow pitch, slow outfield as well. We saw the batsman going for 3, and the ball didn't really look like it was going anywhere near the boundary. So, yeah, it's quite a slow field, and we're not expecting a lot of runs in this game.
Nortje a bit over pitch this time and driven into the offside by Shire Hope. again, a very slow outfield means that they only get 2 runs there.
And that was a booming drive. That was a shot that
Booming
deserved a
drive,
boundary.
and not even getting 3/4 of the way to the boundary. It's a very, very thick, slow outfield.
Sure. So then you'd
Very
expect
interested
that
to
we'd
see how South Africa.
yeah,
Very
sorry, go.
interested to see how I'm very interested to see how South Africa get on, because we know South Africa have a tendency of getting a bit bogged down as batsmen at the moment. So interesting to see how we'll go on this pitch and with this outfield. Bouncer this time by Nortje, directed well at the head of Hope, who gets underneath it and evades the ball effectively. So no run there. Halfway through the 12th over, 24 for no loss. Shy Hope 15 and Brathwaite 9.
Hoping for a wicket share are the South Africans, no doubt about that. Just prodding the batsmen, giving some variation, short balls, full balls, keeping them on their toes.
Nortje back in over the wicket this time. Oh, and he's bowled him. Fantastic ball by Andrik Nortje has bowled him. All ends up. Shy Hope is gone. Unbelievably good bowling by Andrik Nortje. Brings South Africa's first wicket of the morning. 24 for 1. And Shy Hope is gone. We can get Shy Hope's score there. Shy Hope, 15 runs from 33 balls. 1-4 at a strike rate of a touch under 50. So fantastic bowling by Andrik Nortje there. Really, really castled him.
Ooh, the perfect delivery, just bouncing outside the line of the fifth stump and clipping the top of off stump. You cannot have asked for a better ball, as a Shy Hope misjudged that one and left it. And wow, that was an absolute beauty of a ball. And I mean, that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see at least that line being bowled on a constant basis.
I loved to see how angry Andrik Nortje was there in his celebration. All the veins were popping, Dale Steyn's style. I mean, that's bound to get the rest of the team going. And I think other bowlers could probably like take some of that energy into their performance here. And Andrik Nortje has bowled with a lot of energy this morning. Really, really good performance so far from Andrik Nortje. That brings the crease Kruma Bana, who played five games. He averages Kruma. Yeah. He averages 62 with 102 50s in just 5 matches. Fantastic record so far in Test cricket.
Yeah, no, he had those two, the series against Bangladesh and against Sri Lanka, when those two spots, spot 3 and 4 were open. That's where Mayers and Bonner had their debut. Mayers got a double century on debut. So tons of talent here from 3 and 4. So South Africans will be hoping to continue this inroads that they've made here. With Andrik Nortje getting the first wicket.
Nortje again over the wicket, a bouncer, and he's going to get another wicket. 2 in 2 balls for Andrik Nortje. No.
This man.
No. Turn down. Turn down.
Okay.
I think that looked out.
What else could it have been? Just.
It could have been on the helmet.
Take the review.
Like
no, they're not going to take it.
They have taken the review, so let's.
They have taken it.
I was in. I was definitely in. Were you definitely in? I don't know.
We have jingles.
Ooh, jingles are back.
Jingles for the review. Yay! Okay. This is exciting. How I haven't been at the jingles desk. How do you get them firing?
That has missed the gloves and the bat by a long distance and pinged him on the badge. And this is an incredibly bad review.
Oh, wow. Oof. Oh, I just have to call the jingle out when I want it. Oh, that is sick. That is awesome. Okay, that's a lot. It looked closer. Nope, no, it doesn't. Nah, that's missing it completely.
No, that's missed. Nope. That's missed a lot.
Clear daylight.
I must be honest. Very, very good call by the umpire to the naked eye, because that looked out to the whole South African team and me.
Yeah, I know. These guys, that's why they earn the big bucks, and we're here watching the TV. So, staying with the original decision, South Africans lost the review there. So Dean Algar's first review as proper SA Test captain went the wrong way. Unlucky, unlucky.
I think with South African team they often rely on Quinton de Kock. The decision often goes is with Quinton. I remember there's one player you could never trust with a review, and that was Vernon Philander. Vernon Philander could hit the pads with about like 2.5 meters outside off stump and still believe it's out.
You know what? That's what I want. That's what I want from my bowler. I want him to believe that every single ball he bowls is a wicket. And that's the confidence that I feel that's KG, back to KG. That's what he's lacking. He looks like he's just going through the motions, the best years are behind him. But hopefully I'm wrong. I definitely hope
back to Anik
I'm
Nokia,
wrong
and I think
there.
that was a fantastic. He's bowled Shy Hope and followed that up by pinging Bonner on the badge with a fantastic bouncer. That's bound to put it crudely, to make a batsman shit. So like now he's got on the crease. He's scared. He's scared, and I mean that's what you want. You want the batsman to be really, really scared of you as a bowler. So Nokia has got it spot on so far.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I forgot what I wanted to say. It was in my brain and then it was gone. Ish, I hate it when that happens.
We'll have Andrik Nokia back in over the wicket. Again, another bouncer to try and scare Bonner, and he's ducked under this one a bit better this time, and that's gone through to the keeper for no run. Fantastic over from Andrik Nokia. 2 runs off it, but the important wicket of Shy Hope. That brings to an end the 12th over. West Indies are 24 for 1, so trickling along at 2 runs and over.
So can we have that Andrik Nokia jingle? I heard that we have one.
He knows if you are or not yet, because then you relate to his dad's side of the family that his mother really hates.
Yes. Nokia jingles, jingle bells, jingles. We have a tweet here from Anis Mohammed saying spin after 10 overs, ? Dean Algar putting his strap on the captaincy early unless someone wants to change ends. Stamp, sorry, his stamp on the captaincy early.
It's not someone changing ends, because Maharaj is into a second over, this time over the wicket and played towards mid-wicket. Very over-pitched by Maharaj and played really nicely by Brathwaite into the leg side towards the mid-wicket region. But again, held up by a very slow outfield, and they'll come back for just 2.
Another tweet from Leah saying, hello, everyone. Not a bad start for South Africa, I would say. You have my undivided attention until stumps at the edge, Baston. Thank you. We really appreciate that. Keep listening in. It could get very, very interesting. And Ravina saying him too. Awesome. Yeah, that's 2 more listeners and 2 familiar faces to the tweet sphere.
Maharaj into the sphere. Over the wicket at the off stump line and defended by Craig Brathwaite for no run. Maharaj gets through his over incredibly quickly. Again, over the wicket is Maharaj. Cut away this time, but finds the cover point fielder for no run.
He is powering through this over. That's already 4 balls.
Yeah, that is one thing that Maharaj brings to the attack is he gets through his overs incredibly quickly. Anyway, Maharaj over the wicket, and it's an extremely late cut that has Adam Markham at first slip diving. It's a late cut, a very thickish outside edge, and that's going to go away for 4. Maharaj seems a bit frustrated that hasn't gone to hand. Very, very close to Adam Markham. It's gone just past his hands.
Yo, that just flashed past him there. No, that was a chance. That was definitely a chance. A very late cut, a bit too late, and didn't find the middle of the bat there. Got a thick edge and just sort of passed by Markram's forearm as he got his hand out to catch that. If he caught that, that would have been an absolute screamer. But yeah, Keshav Maharaj showing
outside
that
the
there's a
off
bit of turn
stump
here.
and
Oof.
and left alone. That brings to an end the 13th over, 30 for 1, and that brings to an end our commentary stint. Tsepo, great to be on the show with you, and we'll catch up again later. I
Yes,
think
sir.
next will be Chris, Tim, and Otto.
Awesome. Chris can chat about his tweet. Away, Tim. Away, everybody. Goodbye.
How's that?
Hello.
Hello. So,
You guys hear me okay?
Yeah, there we go.
yes, I can hear you all now, yeah.
Hello,
I just
Chris.
saw
Hello,
the first
Tim.
delivery of. Yeah, very well, thanks. Just saw the first delivery of Nokia's third over. If you guys are more or less in the same place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I said, yeah.
my feed in the same place as you now, Chris and Tim. So,
Cool, and that was just
That was just a-
guided into the onside for a single by Nkrumah Bonner.
okay.
Nokia's
have
bowled
you
with some
guys been?
serious pace so far.
That's what we're used to from him now, which was a shame we didn't get to see him in the IPL and set more IPL speed records. Oh, what a
Oh my
fantastic delivery! In
Oh,
swinging, in seaming from Anrich Nokia, pitched outside off, came
Yes.
in and just blew out Craig Brathwaite's stumps rather. He's gone for 15, and the West Indies are 31 for 2. All seam movement there. It was a bit of a scramble seam coming in, but as it hit the pitch, seamed in. It was left alone by Craig Brathwaite, hit his front pad, and then hit his off stump. He's unfortunately gone for the West Indies, 15 or 45 runs in the end. And good, exciting bowling from South African bowlers in whites again.
Oh yes.
Yes,
How lovely to have Test cricket back.
I think the extra pace made a huge difference there. Made a huge difference. You could see he didn't want to play at the ball. That wasn't able to get into position, getting behind it.
So that's the second one left alone by the West Indies batsman, misjudging the length and the bounce and the line.
Yeah,
that is
my stats
shocking.
a little out of date now, but it's still true. And I tweeted it in, but I don't think it was read out. The fact that the West Indies haven't had a 100 opening partnership against any side except Bangladesh since 2012. They've really had a rotten time trying to solve this opening batsman issue. And now they've lost both opening batsmen.
Great stuff here from Nokia.
Yes,
I love that length, fuller length, hitting the stumps, aiming for the stumps, because he's been irritating me for a few years now with those short deliveries and wasting the new ball. So I'm liking this from Nokia.
yes, there's a noticeable difference, as you say. It's sort of half a foot fuller, and it just gives the batsman a little bit less time to play the ball. If that was a bit shorter, half a foot shorter, you'd reckon that Brathwaite would have got it behind it.
Yeah, and
good to
I
see.
was questioning having Anrich as the first change bowler rather than the opening bowler, just looking at the numbers. But if you bowling at scramble seam as fast as he is, I don't think a shiny new ball matters. You can do that at almost any stage of the game, and the batsman's going to be struggling.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the length. That's the length that hits the stumps. So that's very, very nice from Nokia to get the wickets in that way, because he's usually a guy that gets the guys playing the hook shot or trying to intimidate people with short bowling and then leaking runs instead of attacking the stumps and taking wickets. So Roston Chase is in. Bonner is on 1 of 3. The score is 31 for 2 after 13.2 overs. No extra
We just
so far
have-
by South Africa. That's also nice.
A tweet from Jeff Perkins saying that Otto is a little low in the mix. I don't know if you're able to get closer to your microphone or do something else to try and get it a little bit louder. And also a
Okay.
YouTube comment there from Ian. It says, swap commentators again. You just took a wicket. We can. There's 3 of us now, so we can rotate between the 3 and just have 2 on at any time. But I do think between us, we need to cover the next hour, or we're going to be short-staffed.
Now let's see.
I was
here,
pleased to see Didi as well.
I can fix
Um,
my-
I thought he bowled with real purpose in that opening spell. I don't know if you guys saw the sort of squad game that they played. There was footage of it, and he was going through his paces, and he was looking really, really good. He was bowling to Sal Irvia and the boys. He looked like he was really enjoying being back in rhythm.
It's very exciting and very promising to see. One does feel that this group is going to grow together and become something fearsome for time to come. This one from Anrich Nortje unfortunately just strays down leg, very full, very fast. But Roston Chase is able to leave that alone as it goes through to the keeper for no run. As we see.
Yeah, replays here of that Brathwaite dismissal. Nice line by Nortje, and the pitch doing the rest, and a nod of acknowledgement from the batsman there, West Indies batsman. Roston Chase facing his second delivery. Who's on ball by ball?
I can do it very briefly, and then I think we're switching over back to mains from the generator, and you're going to lose.
Way, there you go.
Okay, Chris has got his power back, and we see another rip snorter of a delivery by Anrich Nortje. Seam up this time over the middle and off stump, over the bail. Just too much bounce there by Nortje, beating the batsman. Wonderful, wonderful to see the South Africans doing well in the West Indies. It's been a while since we've been a threat in the Caribbean. Nortje over the wicket, in again outside of stump, left alone. This one moving, straightening off the pitch through to the keeper for no run, through to Quinton de Kock. Chase is on 0 of 3, Bonner on 1 of 3, 31 for 2 is the score. Let's see. Wahid saying great to be back on air with Guerilla Cricket SA. Nortje is turning an average morning into a good one. Man is bowling firebolts, indeed, Wahid. And Jeff, if I can get some feedback, is my mic better now?
Yes.
Another one by Nortje outside of stump, left alone, through to the keeper, no run. End of the 14th over, 31 for 2 is the score. Session to South Africa thus far?
Indeed. Interesting.
There's a bowler there from South Africa. Started out bowling pace, but he made the switch. I wonder why, but he's known as Keshav.
There we go. Chris is back on mains.
Yeah, that was switching
off of the petrol-fired power back onto coal-fired power. Maharaj continues, and we heard his jingle. First ball of his third over is inside edge back down the pitch by Bonner. He comes in again, backs away or backs up to his stumps and just defends this one outside off stump down into the offside for no run. Nice straightening there by Maharaj. Not prodigious spin, but enough to just straighten the line off the pitch. Captain today is Dean Algar for this test match. They've got a silly point in, another one left alone by Bonner, and this one also straightens past the pads of Bonner through to the keeper for no run. That one turned a little bit. So silly point, slip, and a short leg in for Bonner. He's on 1. And Maharaj, this one on middle and leg, just defended. And who's that at short fine leg there? That can't be Bavuma.
Keegan Peterson, probably. Peterson's often under the lid.
Okay. looks a lot like Bavuma. And Maharaj outside off stump. This one gets a thick outside edge pass, the diving slip to third man, who's short, close to the wicket, and there's no run. And the score is still 31 for 2. 5 dot balls here by Maharaj in his third over. He's conceded 6 runs. No wickets yet for him. Last ball of the over, and a silly gully now in as well, driven by Bonner out into the covers, into extra cover for no run, straight to the fielder, back to the keeper, no run. End of the 15, 31 for 2.
Interesting one with Chase coming back into the side because he has recently lost his central contract from the West Indies. He's lost his contract, played the warm-up game, did score runs and got wickets. I think if he hadn't done that, he wouldn't be playing today, even with the Gabriel injury. So he's got an extra incentive to do well.
Right, although it does...
I've been... yes, go, Chris.
I was just going to say that, I mean, not even as of late, for a while now, that West Indies upper and middle order has been a real revolving door. And so even if he wasn't selected now, he'd probably get another chance in a couple of years' time as they've tried everyone else out and come back to him.
And back to normal service for Nortje, short ball, and ducked underneath it by Roston Chase and no run.
They're obviously hoping that Cornwall is that man to strengthen between the top order and the lower order. So far, he's looked pretty good.
Yeah, let's hope that the West Indies can also sort out their... we see a entrepreneurial fan there in the bushes outside the stadium, getting an eye on the cricket. Nortje, this one outside off stump, left alone, no run, 31 for 2. A man standing in what looks like a thick jungle with some wire in front of him, looking down onto the pitch. Anything to get a glimpse of the cricket. Geez, the guys in the West Indies must be desperate to get a view on this game. As are we.
Good to see the pitch map for Nokia showing that predominantly bowling good length deliveries rather than short ones, like you pointed out.
Nortje comes in again, a right arm over the wicket to the right-handed Roston Chase, and this one is closer to the stumps, but also left alone. And Nortje has seen that movie before. That's fine, my friend. Leave it like that. It's fine. I'll hit those stumps again for the third time in the morning. So a good ball there by Nortje, left alone. A good leave, shall we say, this time by Roston Chase.
Have we had any comments on Anurag Nortje's what looks almost like a lockdown haircut? The fact that he's just simplified everything and buzzed it all off.
Oh, he said, I've done it, but nobody else has. He was quite miffed that nobody else at the team had followed suit.
Well, and Gide's got the short haircut.
I think he did that. Yes, I think he did that yesterday. Yeah.
So that used to be like a tradition in our high school, that if you made the under 15 rugby team, you would shave your head. It was a momentous day in my high school career when I managed to reach that milestone. Nortje in again, 3 slips for Roston Chase. This one is aimed at the stumps full and just got a little bit of back to that. Did Roston Chase. Kept it out. Nice work there by Roston Chase, because that was full and fast and on middle and leg, right at his toes. Nortje looking dangerous.
Yeah, looked unbelievably threatening so far. It's quite a treat to watch. This is what stops Test cricket being a background thing and really puts premium on it when it starts being the focus of your attention.
Last ball of the over. Nortje in and left alone again by Roston Chase. This one was over, off stump, I'm sure. Smiles from the South African captain there, as much as he can muster a smile. And the West Indies dressing room looking relaxed as usual. No threat. of
And the
them
maiden
getting
there from
busted
Anrich
easily.
Norkier.
Yep. He's now got two
Nothing really happened. Nothing really happened to me.
Oh, it's so nice to have the jingles back. Maharaj is going to continue now. From which end, I'm not sure. 2 slips and a silly point in, and this one defended off the front foot. Nice reach forward by Bonner, no run. 31 for 2 is the score. 16 overs gone and 1 delivery. Maharaj left arm around the wicket again. This one is pitching on middle and leg. Nice defensive shot forward by Bonner. This is what Maharaj would like to see because he's getting some turn with the new ball and he might get that outside edge to those 2 slips and the silly point. Comes in again around the wicket, left armour. This one on leg stump, swept down to the man at short leg, not short leg, just backward square leg inside what would be the circle. Straight to the fielder there. A bit of a fumble by Norkier and no run. Bonner again defending off the front foot out to point, no run. 31 for 2 is still the score. When was the last run? Let's see. We see Maharaj coming in for his 5th delivery. Only 2 slips now. Another front foot defensive shot by Bonner out to point for no run. 31 for 2.
Last run was, I think, over 13.1. Well, yeah, so 3 overs and 4 deliveries ago.
Well,
Maharaj
this
connected.
partnership.
Bonner cuts this one out to third man, and there's no run. Maharaj hands on his head there. That could have easily gone to either one of the 2 slips, but it just beat the cordon there and through to third man, shortish. End of the 17th over,
This
31
partnership
for
is
2.
If you want it over, all you gotta do is join the dots.
This partnership is normal, so yeah, it's 4 overs basically.
Yeah, I think it was the delivery just before the wicket. Off the first delivery with that Norkier over.
Wonderful,
If you
wonderful
looked
stuff here
at
for South Africa, and
just-
Guidi now replacing Norkier.
Now that he's loosened the lid on the jar wickets, maybe
She calls him Giddy, but she don't know why.
Loving that jingle. Ngidi outside off stump and left alone, no run.
if you looked at just averages and nothing else, you would think that this is a very strong West Indies batting lineup with both Mayers and Bonner averaging over 60. But obviously very limited sample size there.
Very limited. Although Bonner did make 100 very recently, but yeah, it's as I say, small sample.
Ngidi in again on off stump, defended sort of a half driven shot there by Roston Chase out to mid wicket for no run. Yeah, and Gidi's also got the short haircut with the clean shaved sides. Not a lot of hair on his head.
I could believe that was done by one of his teammates. It's not the best haircut I've ever seen in Gidi's sport.
I have a feeling I saw it. I've seen it on Instagram. And I have a feeling it was done by a teammate. I'm not sure who, but I have a feeling.
And Gidi in again over the wicket, left alone outside off stump, no run. 31 for 2.
Yeah, so Mayers and Bonner are 2 of the 5 West Indian batsmen to average over 60. And they've actually played the most matches of anyone on that list, including one of the men's got the highest average in Test cricket, even higher than Don Bradman, but he was only allowed to play the 1 game and then taken out of the side immediately. It's gone home, who batted one match in 1948, scored 112, and then never got another chance.
What an unlucky man. 3 slips in the gully for Ngidi, right arm over the wicket. This one closer to off stump, forces the defensive shot by Roston Chase out to extra cover for no run. 17.4 overs gone, 31 for 2. The last 28 balls, 1 run, 1 wicket, and a run rate of 0.21, we are told here.
Good old-fashioned Test cricket, timeless
Oh,
Test.
yes. And it's very nice to see some cricket in the Caribbean, one of the most beautiful backdrops. We saw some shots of mountains there in the background. Giddy coming in again over the wicket to Roston Chase, and this one is well wide outside off stump, moving away off the pitch as well. No run.
It's just about the worst ball he's bowled all day.
Lucky it wasn't a wide. That would have been a wide in ODIs. Let's see here. George Linder on the sideline. He's not playing today. Mark Boucher there talking to George Linder and who's that?
Sarl over here.
No idea. Sarl
The
Abia.
backup opener.
Thank you.
A man who I would imagine doesn't get a game unless we have an injury to one of our
Much better
openers.
line. Much better line and length there by Ngidi, targeting off stump, and defensive shot by Roston Chase for no run. End of the 18th over, 31 for 2. Run rate now for West Indies 1.72. I wasn't able to catch the toss. Who actually won the toss?
West Indies won the
Must have
toss
been
and
the
opted
West
to
Indies.
bat. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
31
Mr. put us
2 after
aside.
18 overs. They can't be happy with that, surely.
No, you would say that they wanted 1 wicket down at lunch, 2 at the worst.
Well, these two are doing their best to make sure it stays at 2, even if that means they get no more runs in the session.
But the bowling's been, as we said, bowling has been exceptional high standard so far.
Kagiso Rabada replacing Keshav Maharaj, coming in over the wicket on middle and leg, and flummoxed the batsman there. Not sure if there was an appeal there, but that was going down leg or over leg stump. But squared him up.
What's his name? He's a high roller, rock and roller, scariest, deadliest, killingest bowler. He can sink your oats like the Spanish Armada. No one faster, no one harder. What's his name? What's his name? Tell me, what's his name? KG.
There we go. Second ball by Rabada in the 19th over, way down leg side, no run. So Bonner on 1 of 17, Chase on 0 of 16. 31 for 2 is still the score for the West Indies as Rabada comes into 3 slips. This one is just flashed at by Bonner, and it bounces. It goes over the slip cordon and down to the third man boundary for a 4. Wow. Bonner just tried to get his bat out of the way. Didn't manage to do that. Was in 2 minds whether to play at it or not, and it caught outside top edge, toe end of the bat, over the slips, over second slip, and a lucky 4 runs there for Bonner. That could have easily gone to Algar or the second slip man there. Fuller now on middle and off. Bonner flicks this out to the man standing at square leg, and that is Kyle Verreina, I think.
Yeah, get the debutants under the helmets. That's the way to go.
He's about 2 pitch widths away from the batsman on the leg side, on square leg, and there's no run there. Markram or Algar could have easily caught that ball. It just got enough back to beat them over their heads. This one outside off stump and forward defensive shot beats the outside edge through to the keeper. No run, no wicket. That is an excellent delivery by Kagiso Rabada there.
Can't touch this. Can't touch this.
No, he couldn't. He couldn't touch that. I don't think he tried too hard. Bonner, he's now on 5. 35 for 2 is the score. 1 ball to go in Kagiso's 6th over. 3 slips, a gully point. And this one is full on off stump and just defended by Bonner. Back to the bowler, into the pitch for no run. Very nicely done there. A few loose deliveries in that over by Rabada, but the last 3 were absolute venom. 19 overs gone, 35 for 2.
Anis Mohammed asks, what can we read into the SAA performances in Zimbabwe, where Hamza's made 222, Kishila's 100, Eddie Moore 93. Basically, we scored 600 for 4 runs. So, what could we read into that, do you think?
It's hard to judge exactly how strong a Zimbabwe A side is. The fact that everyone was able to capitalize. I guess it's promising either way to know that there is a bit of depth, but we don't know exactly what the standard there is like.
Roston Chase faces the next delivery in Gidi's 6th over, and there's no run, just defended that outside off stump. Well, I mean, it's a good sign that they cashed in, that they got some big runs.
Maybe the main takeaway is that Mutasami is kicking himself, because in between those 300s, he's got a 3-ball duck.
Oh.
True, very true. Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Chris. I think it's good for them, for their confidence, but need to do it on a consistent basis.
Yeah, well, it's better than going to Zimbabwe and being all out for 18
and not doing well. Yeah.
I mean, you play what's in front of you, and you know, you've got to dominate. You would be expected to dominate, being a South African A side touring Zimbabwe, playing against their A side. So that's good. As we see Ngidi continuing now over the wicket, 3 slips and a gully in. Quite wide of the crease, wide of the off stump as well. And the no run, Roston Chase leaves that well alone. We see some more people have gotten on to the fact that they can sit on the hillside overlooking the ground and see some cricket. And we see West
Back in
Indies
the old days when they had fans and it was packed, they would sit on the trees. Climb, people that couldn't get to the ground climb the trees with their little radios.
Yes.
And watch from the top.
And Ngidi continues now his 4th delivery on off stump. Much better line there, forcing the defensive shot by Roston Chase, and there's no run. Roston Chase now 0 of 20. 2 balls to go in the 20th over, 35 for 2. Bonner on 5 of 21.
Bowling's good, but it's not this good. I think from West Indian perspective, they could be looking to at least rotate the strike.
Right.
Chase seems to be happy to just block at the moment.
Ngidi in again. This one moving away from Roston Chase off the pitch, left alone for no run. I think the West Indies just want to get to lunch from this position. They can't afford to lose another wicket. So they're sacrificing the runs just to try and survive. Winning the toss, batting first, losing 2 wickets in just about an hour and 10 minutes on day 1 of a test match. We're used to seeing South Africa struggling to start a test series. But
it's promising to see us.
West Indies foot,
Well, the first time in a while we went into a test series as the favorites on all the betting websites. Only just, but that gave me a little bit of faith for the series.
That
is interesting.
Was left alone, no run, 20 overs gone, 35 for 2. And yeah, South Africa putting the pressure on the West Indies, but they seem to be content to let the deliveries slide through to the keeper, playing the ones that they need to play, and leaving the rest alone.
I wonder if
Nothing really happened. Nothing really happened to me.
And
I
indeed,
wonder.
same thing there with the first delivery of the 21st, left alone, no run. Yes, Tim.
I just wonder if those betting companies factored in the Gabriel injury. Do we become favourites after the Gabriel injury? If that's
I
true,
can't
then
remember
fair
when I
enough.
checked. Yeah,
That's fair enough. But before then, it was close. It was close.
very
But
much in the balance.
yeah.
Unpredictable series. I mean, as we were talking about on that podcast that we did, two sides that really haven't faced each other. None of these players,
Yeah.
very few of these players, have any experience with the opposition. I mean, now that Bavuma's out in the South African side, it's only Elga and de Kock who've ever played a test against the West Indies, and neither of them have ever played a test in the West Indies.
In the West Indies, yeah.
Wow.
Very true. The only
That's-
experience they would have had was T20 stuff. That's the only interaction.
And that last delivery by Rabada defended to the onside for no run. This one beats the outside edge. Rabada half an appeal, but Bonner managed to miss that delivery through to the keeper for no run again.
Can't touch this. Can't touch this.
Yeah, pitching on off stump and straightening. Bonner just played inside it, and it went over the off stump through to de Kock for no run. Very nice delivery. Kagiso Rabada. Wow. 3 slips. Backward point, and Rabada beats the outside edge again. As Bonner tries to defend with a straight bat, not picking the line of that delivery at all. And yeah, Rabada sending them down. That last one, 142 k's an hour.
Interestingly, our early session crew said that Rabada wasn't quite on song, which he wasn't in that first spell. They're quite right. But the second spell, he's really found his rhythm.
Yeah, and this one is short and pulled by Bonner out to mid wicket, just in front of square. There's nobody down there on the boundary. The ball is not going to make it to the rope. The man from fine leg runs around. Lugi Ngidi sends it back, and they'll run 3. I think.
Yeah,
Yes,
very
3
slow
runs.
outfield by the looks of it, because it did seem like he got a hold of it, but it ribbled by the end.
Ngidi said yesterday, he said the one thing they didn't expect was the slow outfield. He said it was exceptionally slow. So he said that the boys didn't like chasing too much.
Yeah, I mean, the ball bounced just short of where the one-day circle would be, so 30 meters or so away from the batsman. And it was a proper shot. He connected that
Proper
really
hits,
well.
yeah.
The full shot. Chase now facing Rabada for the first time. Rabada outside off stump, no run, left alone, wide outside off stump. And it just fizzled out. You could just see the ball slowing down as it rolled over the outfield. And that's the end of the 21st over, 38 for 2.
As we see some lovely views of St. Lucia at the Darren Sammy Stadium today. St. Lucia, population of about 180,000. So I think that's sort of the size of George or Potchefstroom. It's quite a small country.
No, looking at the size of those houses, not too bad a place to call home, I would say.
No.
Yeah, lovely big houses up on the hill, beautiful views. Walking distance from the Darren Sammy Stadium.
Some of those people might be watching the cricket with some binoculars from their porches here. Ngidi continues outside off stump, left alone by Bonner, through to the keeper for no run.
Darren Sammy got just about the biggest reward I think any captain's got for winning a World T20. because he had the stadium named after him, and then I think a lighthouse and a school as well. So really appreciated in St. Lucia for doing that. And that was very much for captaincy, because I don't think he did anything with the bat or the ball in that series, but he led, I suppose, them to what was a fantastic and exciting final.
Remember that. What a great ambassador for West Indies cricket. And Gidi on off stump, defended by Bonner, out to mid on, and there's no run. And I think he just kept that side so positive, so focused on the job at hand, and they'd gone through all of those negotiations with the West Indies Cricket Board and all of the tour to India that was a mess, and then going to that T20 World Cup and winning it, that was epic.
And that was also at the time when they used to hold the Women's World T20 at the same time. It might have been the last time that they did that. And the West Indies women also managed to win their tournament.
They won it as well, yeah, quite right.
Ngidi outside off stump, full, and defended easily by Bonner, out to, back to the bowler for no run. 38 for 2, 21.3 overs gone. Bonner on 8 of 29. 4 of those was a lucky edge. 4 of those was a good pull shot, and Chase at the other end.
Well, 3 of those, in fact, was the pull shot. Yeah.
Oh, 3, yes, of course. Sorry. Yeah. And Ngidi in again over the wicket to Bonner, who drives this and doesn't quite get a hold of it, out to mid-off for a single. He moves on to 9, and Bonner will face 2 deliveries from Lungi Ngidi, who's conceded 6 runs in 6.4 overs, no wickets. So I know that Wahid and Chepo were quite critical of Rabada, but if you look at the actual figures, they didn't really pay for the supposed subpar performance in the form of runs conceded. None of the South African bowlers have conceded meaningful runs.
Yeah, Rabada the most expensive.
Yeah, what is he on? Like 2.5 per over. Ngidi over the wicket. And this one is an outside edge, bounces just short of third slip. Vian Mulder almost catching that, fumbled it to backward point, and there's no run. Roston Chase looking sheepish, not looking confident at all. Just hung his bat out.
Do you know the answer to that question? I don't.
I'm sure I can find something like that's not on Cricinfo, but other databases will probably have it. I'm sure we're not getting close to it. There's probably been sessions with about 15 runs, but it'd be interesting to see where it is in the.
Roston Chase with a back foot drive off Ngidi outside off stump, and this time the ball does make it to the boundary for 4.
Now my innings going, great guns, I hit the ball, 4 runs, I hit the ball and it went for 4 runs.
Nice shot there by Roston Chase.
Chase is off the mark, 25th delivery. And it was a good shot too, nice back foot drive. Nothing fluent, nothing risky about it.
Yeah, well, the only risk at this ground, it seems, to hit it along the ground is that your ball's not going to reach the boundary. But that time he got enough on it to get it there. 3 slips, backward point, and Gidi into Roston Chase, defends this off his hips. And down to fine leg for what looks like a single, yes. Sorry, that was Rabada's first delivery to Bonner. Excuse me. Nice replay here of Roston Chase playing that back foot drive just in front of square through cover, going to the extra cover boundary. Rabada now to Roston Chase. And this one is beating the outside edge again. Rabada straightening off the pitch. Very nicely done. Roston Chase played inside it.
In his opening spell, he wasn't bowling deliveries like that. He wasn't. That's an absolute cork wave delivery.
So
Pitching
it's
just
not
started
the
to up
sorry,
step. Beautiful. Lovely bowling. Yeah,
not
Chris?
the exact stat that Ian was looking for, but just to tide him over in case whilst I do try to find it, the lowest score in a day or on the first day of Test cricket is 95 between Australia and
Wow.
Pakistan. 56 in fact. And that was Australia being all out for 80 and Pakistan 15 for 2 at the end of the day. So between the two teams, they got to 95.
Ooh.
Wow.
Last one by Rabada was left alone, wide outside off stump by Roston Chase, no run, 44 for 2. So Chase is on 4, facing Rabada now, and this one is also left alone. This one climbing up, Rabada making the ball bounce a little bit more there. Roston Chase lifting his arms up above his head as the ball goes sailing past his armpits to Quinton de Kock for no run. Where was that, Chris?
That was in Karachi, I think. Yeah, Karachi in 1956.
Okay. Rabada around the wicket. Roston Chase just looks like he left that one, tucked his bat under his left arm as the ball went sailing past his body, well away from his bat, through to the keeper. No run, 1 ball to go in the 23rd over, 44 for 2. Roston Chase is on 4 of 29. Bonner has gone into double figures, 10 of 31 with that single off the first delivery of Rabada's over. Rabada comes in again, right arm over the wicket, and this one is tucked away down to fine leg by Roston Chase off the leg stump, and they take a single. 45 for 2 now, and Chase is on 5 of 30. Bonner will face the next delivery, 10 of 31.
West Indies will be much happier the last 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes. Much happier. Bonner in particular starting to look like he's got his iron.
Yeah, it seems that their patience has paid off, and taking the shine off the ball, taking the wind out of the South African opening bowlers after Nortje with that double strike around the 1 hour, 60, 70 minute mark, and he's back into the attack now. He's got 2 for 8 or 4 overs, does Anrich Nortje.
Important that our pace bowlers. Sorry, Otto. It's important that our pace bowlers keep to these short spells.
Yeah, I heard somebody mention that it was quite humid there in St. Lucia.
And 29 degrees Celsius at the moment. So nothing they're not used to, but quite warm.
Nice Durban weather. Roston Chase defends this one out to mid-on, and there's no run. So I've got to get my weather app tuned into St. Lucia to check what the humidity actually is there at the moment.
73% according to Google.
Oof. Okay, yeah, no, that'll bring tears to your eyes. So let's see what Nortje can manage here. 3 slips in, he goes to Roston Chase, and this one straight to Verreynne at square leg. Still got the helmet on, even though he's 2 or 3 pitch widths away from the batsman, and there's no run. 45 for 2.
Yeah, on that lowest or fewest runs scored in the first session of a test, I don't think I'll be able to find that. Maybe if we get close enough, Andrew Sampson will tweet about it. I don't know if, I'm sure Tim saw it because Tim's very on top of it, but Andrew Sampson tweeted the fact that Carl Verreynne has the highest ever first-class batting average of a debutant for South Africa, because going into this, he's averaging 56.3, just ahead of Duminy, Richards, Pollock, and Cook, or Stephen Cook, that is, at the same stage.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm just saw that before I came on. That's hectic. That is really excellent. Farina's average 56. Yeah.
And if you want the fewest runs scored in any session of a test rather than just the first, it was by Australia in Palakele against Sri Lanka when they were just defending. I think it was mostly Steve O'Keefe then, where they got to, and Phil Neville, where they got 4 runs in an entire session, and that was a boundary.
Wow.
Last
That was
delivery
also-
was short by Nortje, ducked underneath it by Roston Chase. This one defended and got the inside edge, no run. Inside edge onto the pads, out to point, no run. 45 for 2. Yes.
That was also when they broke the record for the most deliveries without a run. There were about 25 maidens in a row because they were doing nothing except defending.
Which
Sure.
year was this?
2016. I remember being in a lecture just following it on CrickBuzz.
Nortje in again, and this one is swayed out of the way by Roston Chase through to the keeper for no run. Another short ball. So Nortje has gone back to his traditional attack mode with the short stuff. 1 ball to go in the 24th over. And
As we see the
some-
man watching the
Yeah.
cricket for free again. Although it doesn't even look like he's watching the cricket. He looks like he's more just concerned to see if anyone's approaching him. Maybe someone
Yes,
will
it
come
looks
say,
like
hey,
it.
get away.
Yeah.
Well, there's another person sitting to his left and behind him, so nice social distancing there. Nortje appeals for an LBW, but I think that was going down leg and it was a bit high. And there's no run. 24 overs gone, 45 for 2. So Chase is on 5 of 35 and Bonner on 10 of 31.
Another
And,
Nokia. Interestingly, that over, not one delivery was 140. It's all just below. 136, 138, 139. So he's conserving himself.
So I wonder if he's pulling his pace back to try and do what? I'm not sure.
Not,
Oh, it's just
For accuracy's sake.
accuracy. Also the fact that he knows he's got a long day ahead of him, a lot of overs behind to bowl. He doesn't want to burn himself out just yet.
and I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of this man in the crowd today. When there's not a crowd at all, there's going to be a man in the bushes who gets cut to quite
It's a
frequently.
crowd of 1, and this outside edge by Rabada through to Quinton de Kock, gets the wicket of Bonner. 45 for 3. Excellent. Another excellent delivery by Rabada, straightening. He's coming wide of the crease, angling in towards the off stump, and the resistance has been broken by Kagiso Rabada. Oh yes, what a nice delivery there. Just straightening enough. Squared up Bonner. He tried to play down the line of off stump, the ball coming in from wide of the crease, but only managed to get the outside edge through to Quinton de Kock, and he is gone. How do you pronounce
Lovely,
that?
lovely bowling from Rabada.
Nkrumah-
I'd say.
Nkrumah Bonner.
Nkrumah Bonner.
Nkrumah
That'll cut his
Bonner.
average down below 60, I'd imagine.
Yep, and he's caught by Quinton de Kock, bowled by Kagiso Rabada for 10 of 32. And to the wicket now.
The other man with an average of above 60, the man who scored a double ton on debut again in Bangladesh against deliveries that were turning an absolute mile, a foot and a half from outside off, and somehow he made them look like nothing, like he was just batting in the garden. One of the greatest innings I've seen in the last 5 years, at least.
Carl
Yeah,
Meyers.
I could second
5
that.
matches, 462 runs, 66 run average, 250s and 100, best of 210, as you said there, Chris.
But I think I'm right. I think his first class average is less than 40 there. I think I'm right.
Sounds perfectly believable. And yeah, made his debut, I think, at 27. So
Yes,
it
sounds
does seem
really
like
weird.
an anomaly of an innings. But
really
or at least we hope it's an anomaly now that we're playing against him.
Yeah, let's have the wicket jingle while Meyers is marking out his position. If we can, Mr. Producer. Okay, not yet. And the left-handed Meyers is facing Rabada. Over the wicket, this one is full and slipped out of the hand there, it looked like, by Rabada on middle, but defended out to mid-wicket for a single. Meyers is off the mark. He's probably got the best strike rate of the West Indies batsmen today.
Yeah, you're right. Some first class average of well below 40, 33 and a half, and just 3 first class hundreds, which obviously includes that double ton. So
I was gonna say, take away the 210 got out, and it's a heck of a lot less.
maybe he's just
Ah.
custom built to bat in Bangladesh. He's built for those pitches, and he was struggling away in the West Indies, and then got a chance on a rank turner.
Yeah, Roston Chase leaves this one alone. This one coming in prodigiously by Rabada, but too short to trouble the wickets. There's no run. 46
Nice
for 3
round
of
numbers
24.3.
so far from the dismissed batsmen: 15, 15, and 10.
Yeah, and the fall of wickets here: 24 for 1, 31 for 2, and 45 for 3. Rabada into Roston Chase, defends this one outside off stump and out to the man at mid-off, running around to mid-wicket to field that. No run. Rabada is on 1 wicket for 22 in his 9th over. 2 balls to go in his 9th. 2 balls to go in the 25th. And let's see what Roston Chase does with this next one. 3 slips and a gully. Rabada in, driven by Roston Chase, straight to the man at wideish mid-off. Almost extra cover, no run. Good looking drive, but straight to the fielder. 46 for 3 is the score. 1 ball to go in the 25th. Chase is facing 5 of 39. He's on now. Roston Chase. Rabada comes in again over the wicket. And this one is shorter, outside off stump, left alone by Roston Chase. No run. 25 overs gone. 46 for 3. Any tweets in?
I don't think so. I'm just doing some quick maths.
I will have a
see
look.
here,
I'm also trying to do some other stuff. I will have a quick look now.
I hear
So
you guys clicking and typing.
yeah, the average first innings score at Guerilla is 374. But small enough sample size. I haven't played a huge amount of Test cricket here. This is only the 8th Test match.
And this is saying that KG was bowling pies with the new ball and bowling a lot better now. I think it's a little harsh, but I do think there's a marked improvement in how he bowled with the new ball and how he's bowling at the moment.
What a
KG.
delivery by Anrich Nortje. The first ball of his 6th over. He comes around the wicket to the left-handed Meyers. And this one beats the outside edge into the line of off stump and straightening just enough to beat the batsman, or the batsman. Yeah, no, that straightened off the pitch over off stump. Forced the batsman to play. Just couldn't get that edge. But beautiful delivery by Anrich Nortje. Wonderful. Comes in again now, right arm around the wicket to the left-hander. And this one is an inside edge as Meyers tried to get his bat out of the way. Bounced just in front of Quinton de Kock. Lucky fish is Meyers at this point. That almost carried there. Just a half-hearted leave.
Yeah.
Bounces about 30 centimeters before Quinton de Kock's glove. Okay, so not quite as close as I first thought, but
those sort of shots can also go on to take out your off stump when you get that edge trying to leave it like that.
Yeah, Nortje in again. This time Meyers tries to play the pull shot, but it gets an under edge and onto his pads, and there's no run down the wicket out to the onside for the left-hander.
Anis Mohammed
through mid-wicket.
Anish Mohammed talks about the steel band in the West Indies when they used to have fans, and it's a shame. It's a shame that there are no fans. And there's not that usual West Indian calypso music in the background. Makes a difference to the atmosphere.
Oh, yes. Nortje in again to Meyers. This one on middle and off stump. And it's given. LBW. Heinrich Nortje has got his third wicket. 46 for 4. Meyers doesn't look like he's going to review that. He's talking to Roston Chase. What do you think? Roston Chase says, okay, let's have a go. They reviewed it.
With 1 second to go.
I was definitely in.
Were you definitely in?
I don't know.
Tim, I saw your response wasn't immediate celebration. You did have a bit of a face that made you think that you weren't 100%
I'm not
sure about it.
I'm not 100% certain.
You are
Looks a bit
100%
high
certain.
on the replay.
I'm not.
Oh, you're not 100% certain.
No.
Yeah, it looks a bit high on the replay. Hits him above the roll on his front leg. There's no bat. on
Quite
that,
far back in his crease, but
ball.
also up on his toes.
Hmm.
I'm going to
He's
go
quite a
umpire's
tall
call.
guy.
That's probably what it is.
Umpire's call. Clipping the top of the barrels.
Let's see. It's hitting him, and it's missing the wickets over middle stump by about 2 or 3 centimeters. So close, and the umpire needs to retract his out decision. 46 for 3.
And a life
We go.
for Kyle Mayers.
Kyle Mayers living dangerously. Some false shots, some lucky inside edges, bouncing short of the wicketkeeper, and now the LBW decision overturned. And
I
West
think that's
Indies
umpire
retain
Gregory
their review.
Brathwaite overturning his decision. Obviously, home umpires, so you trust them not to be biased. But a name like Gregory Brathwaite, you also trust that he's not related to the captain of one of the sides, and even more tempted.
So Meyers facing Nortje again, coming around the wicket, scowl on his face. Heinrich Nortje on off stump, defended out down onto his pads and then out to point by Kyle Mayers, and there's no run. Wow. Yeah, I wasn't sure myself if that was out, but with the umpire giving it out, just too much bounce there from Nortje. But he definitely flummoxed the batsman, because Mayers was trying to play this one to the onside, so trying to fetch the ball outside or from the middle and off stump line out to the onside. Nortje around the wicket again to Mayers, and this time it gets an edge. It goes high up into the air, and it's going to be caught by Van der Dussen at cover. He is now definitely gone unless Nortje steps over the line.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Over. Yeah.
2 years without a word, and you're really gone.
Now he's really gone this time. Fair delivery by Heinrich Nortje, and Rassie van der Dussen goes from a shortish mid-off to extra cover to collect this ball about 2 pitch widths away from the wicket. Kyle Mayers 1 for 7, caught Van der Dussen, bowled Heinrich Nortje for a strike rate of 14.3. And that would be what on Simon's table so good? 1 run and over?
Yeah, about there.
Yeah.
Just under a run and over.
46 for 4.
Yeah,
Session
without
to
wanting
South
to
Africa, outright. Yeah, done.
without wanting to big us up too much and sound like we have any reason to be arrogant. This would definitely have been the fastest international bowling lineup that Kyle Mayers has had to negotiate, where he's only played against Bangladesh and Sri Lanka going into this, and then suddenly Heinrich Nortje, it did look like he had a little bit of trouble with him.
Yeah.
Jermaine Blackwood comes to the crease, 38 matches, 1,945 runs, average of 30.8. West Indies would love one of their batsmen to score 30. 14 50s, 200s, a best of 112. Not sure against who that was.
Just to getting a stat before we go. About this wicket that we got 203, he now passes Andy Roberts in terms of wickets taken, and having played one fewer Test match.
That's a
If
fun
you know
one.
if you know that 1980s and Andy Roberts, then you know that's a pretty mean feat.
Yeah. The one fact I know about Andy Roberts is he's not an Andrew, he's an Anderson. Anderson Roberts.
Ah, interesting. Rabada to Roston Chase. This one is defended to the onside, just down into the pitch for no run. So Chase has now faced 41 balls, anchoring the innings here, only 5 runs. And we see a replay of Kyle Myers' wicket. He tried to whack that ball outside off stump down to the mid-wicket boundary, only managed to get a toe end outside edge type of shot there. Rabada in again to Roston Chase, leaves this one well alone outside off stump. No run.
Roston Chase, one of, I guess, 3 all-rounders in this West Indies side. They've gone with a slightly different balance to South Africa, with only 2 out-and-out bowlers in the debutant Seals and then Kemar Roach. And then you've got Holder, Cornwall, and Chase, all as all-rounders. And I think that's just wanting to lengthen the batting lineup. They haven't had a lot of faith in it recently. You could have gone with maybe an Alzari Joseph, someone like that, but you just want as many batsmen as you can fit into that side.
Yeah. Also, I was playing.
Rabada, no run. Yes, Tim.
Also, I was playing kind of cricket recently, and he wasn't great. He was too wild. And if he's too wild kind of cricket, then it's a risk playing here.
Someone else who's not in the squad, but also West Indian playing county cricket and not seen much success is Miguel Cummins. I don't think, unfortunately, if you read a lot of cricket history books, you hear all these stories of West Indian cricketers going up to county cricket and tearing it apart. And unfortunately, that seems like a thing of the past at the moment.
This one short, ducked underneath it by Roston Chase, no run. 2 balls to go.
I'm going to be...
7th over. And
I'd just
like
let you know.
Be on for lunch after this over. Looking at the time.
I'm probably going to go any minute now. So it's not
electricity
you.
wise.
It's electricity.
Okay.
If I go, I go.
It's looks not like you. It's me.
Looks like Otto's done a self-inflicted rolling blackouts there. By Otto, he's happy to sit in the dark.
This one by Rabada outside off stump. And left alone. Well, he played a forward defensive there, beating the outside edge was Rabada there for Roston Chase, and there's no run through to the keeper. Now, my power is off, but I've employed some of my camping equipment here to manage to stay online.
And if we've got any listeners outside of South Africa who aren't used to what's going on, it's what the government calls load shedding, but Otto will get upset if I call it load shedding. It's rolling blackouts at the moment in South Africa.
Rabada in, Fuller on middle and flicked away out to mid-wicket by Roston Chase. They're going to go for 2 at least. Nortje gets the ball back and Chase makes it back to the keeper's end with a leisurely stroll. And that's the end of 27 overs. That is lunch in St. Lucia. Wow, it's been so much fun. Thank you for listening, everybody. Let's see what our producer says here. No message from the producer yet. We're not sure what's going to happen during the lunch break, but I'm sure it will be interesting.
What time is it?
It's time for lunch.
What time is it?
It's time for lunch.
What time is it?
It's time for lunch.
It's lunchtime.
Hey, what's for lunch?
There we go. Dinner time in South Africa, lunchtime in St. Lucia. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. So we see the West Indies are 48 for 4 after 27 overs and a run rate of 1.77. Excellent start here by South Africa after being asked to bowl by the West Indies, who won the toss. And do you want to do the scorecard?
Yeah, I can do a quick scorecard. Craig Brathwaite and Shai Hope opened the batting. They managed to put on a few more than they did against Sri Lanka, but not that many in the grand scheme of things. They scored 15 each. Both of them bowled by Nortje. He looked deadly coming on his first change. Then he went off, and KG managed to knock over Nkrumah Bonner, caught behind by Quinton de Kock for 10. Roston Chase is still out there for 7 runs of 46. He's happy to take his time. Kyle Mayers was the last man to go, who was also batting quite slowly, but was eventually, well, first given LBW, that was overturned, and then a couple of deliveries later, Skied one was caught by Rassie van der Dussen and was dismissed for 1 off 7. Jermaine Blackwood is the other man at the crease alongside Roston Chase. So yeah, 48 for 4 after 27, 3 wickets from Nortje, 1 from Rabada, and Lungi Ngidi and Keshav Maharaj, economical, but not taking any wickets in the first session. We'll see you all in about 40 minutes, I guess. Thank you very much, Tim. Thank you very much, Atu.
Cheerio.
Just guys.